Before the gods fell silent, they shaped wonders of power and purpose. Rings that cursed kings, spears that carried fate, horns that shook the worlds, and weapons that bent storm and flame. These relics were not forged for glory, but for consequence. Their names resonate through myth and memory, carried by gods, giants, and even mortals. Hear now the stories of the relics of the Æsir, forged by dwarves and etched with Odin's runes. Gungnir's, a spear that never misses its mark. Carved from the wood of Yggdrasil and bound to fate itself, every throw carries judgment. In war and at Ragnarök, Odin casts the world spear not to test chance, but to declare destiny.
Whisper stir, the anvil's glow. A spear for fate that all men know. Smíðað í myrkri þar vergar vaka og eldur væsir stál og örlög taka. Úr grassil svíri reistist geir með rúnum Óðins skorinn meir. Gungnir flies, fights, dies cast. Gungnir strikes and ends the past.
from cursed gold and bound by fate. Andvaranaut is a ring that draws wealth to its bearer, and ruin soon after. Once guarded by the dwarf Andvari beneath dark waters, it was stolen by Loki, who carried its curse into the world. Kings would wear it, heroes would covet it, and all would fall. For Andvaranaut does not merely promise riches, it demands a price.
A dwarf held treasure in caverns deep, a ring of gold that called more gold, a secret fortune never told. I strá með ökrum satt Andvari ein, vakti guld sitt verða við mein. Ringurinn fann allt við á fót, hann leiti eigandan til meiri gold. Andvaranaut, the seeker's prize, the golden ring that never lies. Gullringur bölvaður örlög brenn, gull leiti glötun dauða menn. Loki came with a smile of flame, a trickster's mind and a shapeshift name. He took the hoard in greedy hands and tore the ring from the river's sand. Loki krafðist við óvald, fekk gullið allt með orrum kalt. En þegar hringurinn frá dvergi fór, lagði hann böll sem eilíft stór. Andvaranaut, the seeker's prize, the golden ring that never lies. Gullringur bölvaður örlög brenn, gull leiti glötun dauða menn. It gleamed like dawn in a liar's palm, a wicked gold with a deathly calm. For every hand it ever wore, found grief and ruin nevermore. Hver sem bar hann fann ei fríð, heldur örlög hör sem eldust víð. Ringurinn leitar hold og geð, og færir sár sem aldrei græð. Andvaranaut, the seeker's prize, the golden ring that never lies. Gullringur bölvaður örlög brenn, gull leiti glötun dauða menn.
Driven into the heart of a living tree by the will of the gods, Balmung was a blade meant for one hand alone. Many tried and failed until Sigmund drew it free and claimed his fate. Passed through blood and legend, the sword would break, be reforged and rise again. For it is not merely a weapon, it is a judgment carried through generations.
Sigurd claimed the blade anew, a hero born and the moment grew. Across the waste the shadows coil, where Fafnir brooded over stolen soil. The blade rang bright with a promised end, a king reclaimed the land to mend. Hendur smíðat af dvergalíf, sverð af sársög örlögsnýð. Sigurður hjó í skuggadjúp, fór til ormsins letegi upp á sléttum myrkvann undir fjallsins hríð. Skar Balmung leið með hennar líf. Balmung raises for to reign, a dragon's doom in steel and flame. Gramur eldur restu kraftur með blóð, Veffel og Fafnir í þeir örlaga slóð. Steel met scale as mountain shook, the world turned pale beneath the look of Fafnir's wrath and venom breath. But Balmung carved a path through death with a final roar. The dragon fell, a kingdom freed from Wyrmade hell. Sigurd stood with a blood-red gleam, a legend born from Odin's scheme. Í blóði ormsins jarðir brann, Sigurður stóð sem sigurmann. Balmung skar í myrkur og klóð, læti konung heim úr nót. Arfleifð Jormans jarn og saga lifir enn í hetjulaga. Balmung raises for to reign, a dragon's doom in steel and flame. Grammer restu kraftur með blóð, Veffel og Fafnir í þeir örlaga slóð.
When Thor was stripped of hammer and strength, aid came not from gods, but from a giantess. Grídarvöllr, the unbreakable staff of Grídr, was given to him to cross deadly waters and survive the impossible. It was not forged for conquest, but for passage. A reminder that even thunder must sometimes rely on mercy.
Gríðega honum af lógu. yet still the sacred oak endured, a weapon fate itself secured. On distant cliffs the daughters three rose up in hate to make him bleed, but greed our father split bone and line, and shattered Geirröð's cursed design. Lightning crowned the battle's roar as giant daughters fell before the god of war. Han braut þar bak, hann glópnaði þrá, dætur Geirröðar felldu þá. Stafurinn söng í banaljóm, sár og dauðu fyllti róm. Hann
Gekk í höll með eldingröð.
var svarskalla þausa með eljar tröst. Gríðarvöld strikes unyielding might, a storm born oath in the burning night. Stafró brotin kraft úr fjól, þrumuvinur með jötunn blóð í höld. Through shattered stone and burning beams, Thor rose like thunder forged from dreams. And in the smoke the heavens swore Gríðr's name would ride with mighty Thor. Að eldi hallarinnar stóð hann eitt, með gríðarvöl ógnar mein. Geirröður fellt við þrumuhögg, höld lands brast í dauðans þögn. Af gríðarlíf stormatíð, Þór mun geyma það endalíf. Gríðarvöld strikes unyielding might, a storm born oath in the burning night. Stafró brotin kraft úr fjól, þrumuvinur með jötunn blóð í
Another relic crafted by dwarven hands. Draupnir is a ring of endless bounty. Every 9th night it births 8 more like itself. Yet its fate was sealed when Odin laid it upon Baldur's pyre, a symbol of wealth offered to grief.
med Baldur's pyre og set aflame and draupnir burned in funeral gold. A grief no god could yet behold. I bál Baldurs veitt ringir sinn end. Fadir syrði son sinn vend. Gulli brann í loga djúpt. En saga lifir aldrei hljópt. Draupnir shines through ages long. A river of rings in a skaldmanns song. Á níundu nótt grípur hringurinn nýr. Átta aðrir jafnir í dýrð og tíð. Draupnir shines through ages long. A river of rings in a skaldmanns song. Á níundu nótt grípur hringurinn nýr. Átta aðrir jafnir í dýrð og tíð.
Gjallarhorn is the voice of ending and awakening. Carried by Heimdallar, its call can be heard across all worlds. When it sounds, gods, giants, and mortals alike will know. Ragnarok has begun, and fate can no longer be delayed.
Gjallarhorn screams with fire and dread. A blast to wake both gods and dead. Ljóð hans berst nýju heim. Boða Ragnarök, enda leysi geim.
Through starlit void and mortal dust, he watches all with righteous trust. The bifrost burns beneath his feet, a rainbow armed with cosmic heat. Han ser í myrkri, ser í ljós, ávallt vakandi gætir þjóðs. Með horn af ösku góðan smá, skelfir hann tímann, brýtur hvað.
Gjallarhorn screams with fire and dread. A blast to wake both gods and dead. Ljóð hans berst nýju heim. Boða Ragnarök, enda leysi geim.
And when the wolf breaks free at last, the horn will sound its final blast. A cry that sunders sky and stone, as Heimdall stands unbroken alone. Og stundin súistur ús hann upp, leiðir lúðigan fenris upp. Gjallarhorn í stormi slær, og heimar skelfa ljóðið nær.
Gjallarhorn screams with fire and dread. A blast to wake both gods and dead. Ljóð hans berst nýju heim. Boða Ragnarök, enda leysi geim. Boða Ragnarök, enda leysi geim. Boða Ragnarök, enda leysi geim.
Skidbladnir is the ship that defies all limits. Built by dwarves for Freyr, it always finds a favorable wind and can carry all the gods. It folds small enough to fit within a pocket. It can fly through the air and sail on water.
Forged in halls of fire and stone, a ship no mortal sea has known. Skíðblanir giftu Freyr the bold, a vessel woven out of gold.
Margar smiðu skipið fritt,
Mengen í rún og
eirinnar slítt.
sigrar vind og öldu bráð, fer lofti leiðir á.
Skíðblanir sailors through storm and sky, a born craft that will never die. Þar sem seilir úr ís hallar vind, leiðir góðum haf og lind.
It folds into a traveler's palm, yet carries God's in glory calm. From shining Valhalla it roars through realms unbound by mortal shores. Í vasa Freyrs að fellur mjótt, en vex sem herli stórt og stórt. Flætur góðum himmins skátt, gleður Æsir styrkir mat.
Skíðblanir sails through storm and sky, a God-born craft that will never die. Þar sem seilir úr ís hallar vind, leiðir góðum haf og lind.
No storm can halt its golden glide, no fate can break its honored stride. The shining prow will never tire, a blazing torch of dwarven fire. Gullin stefna brýtur hríð, leiðir far með gossins líð. Skíðblanir Æsir heima þrjá, fer ölden fellur sjá.
Skíðblanir sails through storm and sky, a God-born craft that will never die. Þar sem seilir úr ís hallar vind, leiðir góðum haf og lind.
Hofud is the sword of Heimdallr, sharp enough to strike through fate itself. Wielded by the guardian of the Bifrost, and thus Asgard, it is said this blade will meet Loki at Ragnarok, where Watcher and Trickster fall together. A weapon not of conquest, but of final duty.
lands where worlds are crossed. His sword hove wood in silent gleam, awaits the end the Norns foreseen. I hendi hans höfuðstált, gildur logi af góða jól. Sverð sem bítur svik og rók, slævir Loki heimsins lók.
of fate are spun. Heimdallr meets his ancient foe, and Hovud strikes the final blow. Og Endadókum rís hann hæstinn, mætir Loki eldsins fræst. Höggi sísta skapar ró, sverðið fellir svík hans ljóð. Hovud rises when the sky turns red, a blade for gods for the final death. Sverðins vita varmans beit, líkur Ragnarök með heljar meit.
Young Lofar are the iron gloves of Thor, forged to wield power no bare hand could endure. Paired with the belt of strength, they double the thunder god's might and allow him to grasp Mjolnir. A reminder that even gods require tools to bear their own power.
Forged in fire beneath the stone, where dwarven anvil shook and groaned. Jernglofar gauntlets born of might, to bind the storm in Thor's own fight. Járngreipar styrkja þrúmu hönd, lyfta Mjölni fold og gund. Með eldi dverga stálsins röst, tvöfalda þeir hans guða tröst. Járnglofar burn with Aeon's roar, the gloves that wake the thunder lord. Styrkja kraft í góða brjóst, binda eldin gefa þvost. shall shine like suns in shattered skies. For Thor will meet the end's demand with fire burning in each hand. I Ragnarök ris han stark med greipur av stálit verkaverk. Högg hans brytur heima tvöj med járn og eld í endaljó. Járnklofar burn with iron's roar. The gloves that awake the thunder lord. Styrka kraft i goda brjóst. Binda elding gefa foss.
Gleipnir is the binding that even the gods could not forge alone. Woven by dwarves from impossible things, it held the wolf Fenrir when chains and iron failed. Light as silk and as strong as fate. A reminder that subtlety can restrain even unimaginable power.
Come gather round and raise your ale for tales of chains that never fail. The gods once forged with fire and roar, but Fenrir laughed and snapped all four. Svörtal försmít og bandi smátt úr hlutum engum dauleg mátt. Gleipnir lettur sem silki mjúkt en styrkur meir en járn og brúk.
Come drink to Gleipnir's woven might, the chain that bound the wolf of night. Bandi heldum Fenris skap, lokar honum til Ragnaröks staf.
Hammers ring, no forges flame could match the elves' enchanted aim. They wore it fine with whispered art, the ribbon soft yet strong as heart. Úr kattarfótum bergsins rót og anda fisks á hafsins slóð. Úr skegg konunnar fuglsins sök, þeir bundu úlfinn ríkst var lóð.
Come drink to Gleipnir's woven might, the chain that bound the wolf of night. Bandi heldum Fenris skap, lokar honum til Ragnaröks staf.
He strained and roared, he tore the sky, but Gleipnir held though God stood by. And Fenrir knew with burning pride that fate itself stood at his side. Úlfur eymdi kraft og reiði, en Gleipnir brást ei held í leiði. Hann bíður tíma endaljós, þá brestur bandið heimsins rós.
Come drink to Gleipnir's woven might, the chain that bound the wolf of night. Bandi heldum Fenris skap, lokar honum til Ragnaröks staf.
Hlidskjalf is the high seat of Odin, from which all worlds may be seen. When the All-Father sits upon it, no distance is hidden, and no secret remains. From this throne, fate is observed, not altered, and even love can be born from sight alone.
Whose throne commands both day and night. On his Hlidskjalf's seat of silver fire. It says each world, each fate, each pirate. Á hlýðskjálf situr alfaðir hár, sér heima nær og fjær. Valaskjálf glóir í silfri björt, þar ísvald hans yfir jörð og stef.
Hringt og hlýðskjálf, watchful throne, where every realm is fully known. Situr hann yfir nýju slóð, lýsir saugum ræður bróð.
From that high seat of silvered red, where ancient runes in fire are read, Odin gazes through the haze, commanding storms and shaping days. Í kútri hölmuð þök af silfri, gætir hann heima stendur yfir, augun sjá í framtíð djúp, þar sem örlög spinna lög.
Hringt og hlýðskjálf, watchful throne, where every realm is fully known. Situr hann yfir nýju slóð, lýsir sögum ræður bróð.
And Freyr once claimed that silver seed to glimpse a beauty fierce and sweet. In Jötunheimi saw her stand, and love struck hard with blazing hand. Hann leit á gerði jötnamær, hennar fegur tók hug hans kær. Og hlýðskjálf fann hann sína þrá, sem brann í brjósti árum frá.
Hringt og hlýðskjálf, watchful throne, where every realm is fully known. Situr hann yfir nýju slóð, lýsir sögum ræður bróð.
Svalin is a shield that stands between Midgard and the sun. Set before the blazing path of Sunna, it turns searing fire into life-giving warmth. Without it, the world would burn.
Ef Ragnarök solen rís bristor brau ut med eld sin svit Svalen din fäller värn din lir En visa saga lever fri Svalen holds where the sky meets flame A wall of frost no fire can claim Skjöldur kaldur gen solskins bráð Heldur líf í mannsins laug
Megging Jord is the belt of strength worn by Thor, a relic that doubles the power of the thunder god himself. When fastened, his blows strike harder, his stance grows unshakable, and even giants must yield. It is proof that power, when bound and focused, becomes unstoppable.
Forged in dwarven halls of flame My belt of power earned its name Making the girdle strong That fuels the thunder god's war song Making tvöfaldar mátt Gefur Þórin góðleg brátt Styrkir amar, styrkir hönd Reisir heimar rund Making burns with ancient might A stormborn belt of battle light Belt í kraft í góða bjóst Gefur elding, gefur fóst When Thor prepares for war and flame The belt ignites his sacred claim His muscles swell with roaring fire A living storm of godly air Han spänner belt í drumureis Kallar eldi úr himins geis Ögna blóð þá streymir djúpt Því styrkur hans góðan flút Making burns with ancient might A stormborn belt of battle light Belt í kraft í góða brjóst Gefur elding, gefur fóst And when the skies at Ragnarök Are split by fire and Fenrir's choke Thor straps the belt with solemn wrath And storms erupt along his path Enda dögum reisir hann Belti logar í góðarann Styrkur þrefaldur brýtur fjöll Þor gengur brennum heimsins röð Making burns with ancient might A stormborn belt of battle light Belt í kraft í góða brjóst Gefur elding, gefur fóst
Fjaderhammer is the feather cloak that grants the gift of flight. Worn by Freya and borrowed by Loki, it allows its bearer to cross worlds in moments, unbound by earth or sky. It is freedom made manifest, swift, silent, and never meant to linger in one place for too long.
frostborn seas, it carried souls with graceful ease, a relic born of skyward thread, where even storms and shadows fled.
Versen klæðist hamnum létt,
Finnur eyjar nema lefett, eitt skref leftir hug og lík, upp á vængi eilífsvík.
yeah, the hammer shines and the heavens bend, a cloak for gods who will transcend.
Flýgur skýin með helgan frið, leiðir þig geisla í eilífi.
Brisingamen is the necklace of Freya, forged by dwarves and radiant with fire and desire. It stirs love, pride, and conflict wherever it shines. Coveted by gods and stolen by tricksters, its beauty is never without cost. For what draws the eye can also shape fate.
Dwells down in a molten cave, for a necklace mortals crave. Gold like fire, bright as dawn. There's the gem called Brisingam and Sjón. Gild sem sólin í eldsins hjarta, skar sem brennir gleður og hjarta. Fjórir tvírir hlóu hátt, engi góð fæ þetta ánátt.
Oh, raise your horn for the mystic prize, the jewel that lit up Freyja's skies. Brisingam grætur í eldsins gló, en Loki stal því sem ljósin þjó. Dansaði mjúk í dvergasal og vakti jörstu með ljómasmál. Skiptin stóðu, hún fekk sinn draun, skarti brann sem eldbjarðstraun. Oh, raise your horns for the mystic prize, the jewel that lit up Freyja's skies. Brisingam grætur í eldsins gló, en Loki stal því sem ljósin þjó.
Smelled the story gold and fear. He snatched the necklace in the night and fled beneath the pale moonlight. Óðinn vakti og kallaði hátt, Loki drengur komdu brátt. Hann smók í skugga með skartið burt og ló á meðan heimu þurr.
Skies. Brisingam grætur í eldsins gló, en Loki stal því sem ljósin þjó.
Not all relics are born of the ancient age. Ljósveldur was forged by dwarven hands, yet awakened by a power older than steel, the divine light carried by Lord Zarius. Inscribed with runes and shaped to endure the impossible, this shield does not merely defend, it reflects. Poison, flame, and malice are turned back upon their source. In Valhalla, against the avatar of Jormungandr, Ljósveldur proved that faith and will can stand beside the relics of the gods and not be found wanting.
victorious war through all that's vile. A guardian forged by dwarves and light, a vow to shield both realm and right. Og may liv daga beran það, með helgum krafti ljósins ráð. Ljósveldur stendur gegn skugga grim, skjöldur djarfur í góða heim. Ljósveldur shines with radiant might, a shield that bends the serpent's bite. Skjöldur birtur brýtur mein, heldur hjörtu gegn eiturstein.
Many relics have been named here. Rings of greed, cloaks of flight, horns of warning, blades of fate. But one stands above them all. Mjolnir was forged by dwarves, tested by giants, and carried through storm and fire to defend the realms. It is not just a weapon, but a promise. The chaos will be answered, and the weak will not stand alone. I have wielded it across ages. I have felt its weight return to my hand again and again. I am Thor, and I will sing you the song of my hammer.
Born in fire, shaped in rage, Mjolnir storms from age to age. A hammer wrought by dwarven might to crown the sky with death and light. Eitri sló með járn í heit, Brokkur barðist gegn logans feit. Úr glóð og góða máttar röst koma marri með þrumu bröst. Mjölnir falls with lightning's roar, a storm pound out forevermore. Hamar brýst himins slóð, brýtur jötna, dregur blóð.
Across the clouds of Midgard's night, its thunder shatters mortal sight, and giants flee in skylit doom. Know the hammer's final boom.
Hann snýr sér heim í þrumureis, fylgir Þór í elding geis. Hittir alltaf margi stríð, sigrar óvinn brýtur til. Mjölnir falls with a lightning's roar, a storm bound out forevermore. Hamar brýst himins slóð, brýtur jötna, dregur blóð.
Blessing bind and healer spark, it guards the realms through light and dark. A weapon feared in every land, that flies but always meets Thor's hand.
Með helgan kraft í hamarskjöf, the lightning's roar, a storm bound out forevermore.